three-time champion Udonis Haslem. I'm Malika Anders, and the Pacers and the Thunder, they both just wrapped up meeting with reporters here ahead of this all-important closeout game for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Pacers, they are hoping to somehow, some way extend this series. This is the biggest storyline, though, heading into tomorrow's game. It's got to be the health here of Tyrese Haliburton. And Rick Carlisle, he talked just a little bit ago about his starting point guard. Take a listen.
Yeah, he participated in all our walkthrough stuff. So, but it's a walkthrough, so it's not. There was no real running or moving or anything. So we'll see. See where we are tomorrow.
I think I have to be as smart as I want to be. I have to understand the risks, ask the questions. But I'm a competitor. I want to play. I'm gonna do everything in my power to play, and that's just what it is.
All right, so that's what Tyrese Haliburton and Rick Carlisle was saying about tomorrow. We're going to have a little bit more information as we inch closer to tip-off, but you and I were talking, UD, down there before the show. You had picked the Indiana Pacers in 7 games. It gets much more difficult if Tyrese Haliburton isn't 100%, my friend.
I am a tad bit worried. I am a tad bit worried, to say the least. But what I will say about this team has been the power of the brotherhood that has brought them this far. So why not continue to have the power of the brotherhood? Collective locker room, come together, rally around your brother. Everybody needs to step up. Not one guy is going to do it, but I still think this team believes. I do.
Yeah, I think when you list a guy as questionable or call him a game time decision when it's an elimination game in the finals, you're saying he's going to play, because how could he not? It puts him in a bad position if he doesn't. So I don't think there's going to be much drama about whether he's actually going to play. How he looks when he gets out there, that's what the drama is going to be. And certainly the Thunder are going to watch and they're going to test him. The difference between what you could see tomorrow versus what you had in Game 5 is that the Pacers will be able to prepare a game plan if Haliburton doesn't play. And look, it wasn't just him who had an off game. Some of their other guards were off offensively. Nembhard didn't have a great offensive game. Mathurin was 2 of 11. Obviously, TJ McConnell played great. But by the way, I want to point something out, because it's not just as simple as just saying, well, play TJ McConnell more. The Thunder will have a game plan for dealing with more TJ McConnell as well.
TJ McConnell has started 1 game all year. They are 4-5 without Tyrese Haliburton in the regular season. All of that obviously goes out the window in the playoffs. I was talking to Andrew Nembhard a couple of minutes ago, and he told me that if Tyrese isn't able to go or he's not 100%, he's going to have to play a little bit more point guard here, Mark.
Yeah, and they're used to it if we go back to the Eastern Conference Finals. But this season alone, the Pacers are actually 4-5 when they played without Haliburton. 8 of those 9 games have been since March. But I think the guy you're going to have to watch, as you mentioned, is Andrew Nembhard. If we go back to the 2024 Eastern Conference Finals, Haliburton missed 2.5 games with a hamstring injury, and who stepped up? Andrew Nembhard stepped up. As you see, the points, the assists. He also did well from a rebounding standpoint as well. So he has experience in that regard, and I think they're going to lean on him if Haliburton can't play.
You imagine that he is going to try to give it a go, knowing the competitor, right, that Tyrese Haliburton is. My concern becomes, Brian, if he does play, Oklahoma's going to go at him. They're going to put him in as many actions as possible here.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing about it is that Tyrese is – it's a real challenge for the way Tyrese wants to play the game against the Thunder anyway. They are a bad matchup for him when he's at full power. And so the one thing I will say that we definitely saw in Game 5, Haliburton is elite at not turning the ball over. I think he led the league in assist-to-turnover ratio this year. When he was taken off the ball in the fourth quarter, that's when the ball started turning over. So no matter who's got the ball, they got to be careful against those Thunder Hawks, because you know they're going to be hunting, knowing the Haliburton's going to maybe be off the ball a little bit more.
Siakam becomes the focal point, right? And he had 6 turnovers in Game 5, UD. What are you looking for here in Game 6?
Well, he's the one guy who has a mismatch every single time he's down the floor. Whether you put a big guy on him, he can go around those guys. If you put a small guy on him, he's going to punish those guys in the paint. You look right here. There's a point to make that screen with SGA's man, because you know you're going to get a switch. You know you're going to get SGA on that switch. You know you're going to have a size advantage and a power advantage. And also you get to wear on SGA when he goes on the offensive side of the game. So right now you just set that screen, you get that easy switch. SGA has no chance. Now you come down here, he has Caruso. I like him on this island against a guard against Caruso. Now you would think he would go in the paint, but because his skill set, he can actually put the ball on the floor and get downhill against Caruso, who is a great defender. This is scary, because when you're OKC, you're saying usually a guard can stop a big from putting the ball on the floor. So I'm looking at Pascal Siakam as a guy who's got to be ultra aggressive against every single matchup, but not just to score, to get in the paint and create mismatches, to get other guys easy buckets and get guys going.
And he has experience on this stage. He is a champion. He knows what it takes to be able to shift really into another gear. But the Oklahoma City Thunder, as Brian said, they are prepared for all of this. They just spoke about their mindset heading into this is the hardest part in my mind, trying to focus, knowing that one more win gets you a championship. Take a listen.
Haliburton's a great player. One thing we know is you don't underestimate great players. So in the case that he plays, we're expecting his best punch. Indiana's a great team. We don't underestimate great teams. So in either case, whether he plays or not, we're expecting Indiana's best punch, especially at home. And so we'll be prepared for the best punch from both him and the team.
We've done a really good job of focusing on us. And the Pacers are a very good team. Like I've been saying before, like you don't stumble into the finals, and you surely don't get into the finals with just one person. So we're going to get their best punch regardless of who plays and who doesn't. And, they're going to be fighting like their backs against the wall. So that's kind of like the mindset that we have going into it. And then whoever lines up is who lines up.
So if you're one game away, right? If you're one game away, as mere mortals on this side of the table here, right? There would be moments, UD, that my mind would just slip of, oh, we're just one. You're shaking your head. But how do you guard yourself against that?
I mean, they have built habits all year. And as soon as they won the last series, the first thing they said is, this not over yet. So This has been ingrained in their minds to win a championship. So I don't think there will be any slippage. Yes, they're a young team, but they're not immature at all by any shape, form, or fashion. So this team is going to continue to keep the task at hand. The job is not done, as like Kobe said. They understand the assignment. I don't think they'll really get into that.
You know, this is a team that I keep looking for them to show their age, right?
Yes.
They were 24 years old at the end of the regular season. Then they got a little older through these 2 months. Now they're average 25 years old. But they got some experience over the last two series. Game 7 against the Nuggets, back against the wall. They beat the Nuggets. Game 5 deciding series in the Western Conference Finals. They destroyed the Minnesota Timberwolves and made it to the NBA Finals. So I feel like this team is mentally ready with their coach, Danault, who, has a calm demeanor of Norm from Cheers, man. He doesn't get too excited.
All right,
he's laid back, and I think he'll have them mentally ready tomorrow.
So I want to talk about another game that was in that Denver series. That was Game 6. Same situation. That series is really mirrored. Excuse me. That series is really mirrored this series. They had Game 1 where they blew it. They went down 3-2-1 after Game 3. They came back and won Games 4 and 5. And I think they didn't play a great game in Game 6. Jalen Williams especially, just 3 of 16 in this game. So I look for them to learn from that experience that they had in Denver to come out more ready in this game tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that if it's another team, maybe even if it is the Denver Nuggets, and the Denver Nuggets' best player goes down, or at least the head of the snake, right, in Tyrese Haliburton, if another team, if that's the case, then it's kind of easy to say, let's pack up and go home. But because of who this Indiana Pacers team has been all year long, Udonis, the Thunder can't afford to say, even though it's true,